Good morning. It looks like we're going to see a little bit of sunshine this afternoon. We had some fog out there again this morning. We have a weather impact alert for the next several mornings as we're expecting more fog to develop not only tomorrow morning but all the way through looks like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday mornings as well. So you'll see a lot of red bars when we show you the 7-day forecast. And basically it's just for the fog in the morning. We don't have any severe weather or anything like that coming in. All right, let's take a look at what's going to be going on the rest of this afternoon. Like I said, those clouds will be breaking up a little bit. Already starting to see some of that up in the lakes area. Temperatures in the middle 70s for this afternoon. Will drop down to around 70 at 6 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock, we'll see temperatures back into the middle 60s as we'll start to see more fog developing this evening and going through the overnight. So if you like today, you'll probably see the same type of weather as we go all the way through the rest of the week into Saturday, including Christmas Day, which is on Thursday, of course. Allergy report, back up on grass and mold. Both are medium, low on weed, and then still nothing to talk about as far as the tree is concerned. As we take a look outside, we'll look at some of these sky cams. And you can see Jasper, partly cloudy skies, some sunshine. Temperatures in the 70s in Jasper. Looking at the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. This camera brought to you by Probalis, but yeah, not too bad there. Starting to see skies break up a little bit also in Port Arthur, giving some sunshine. Hopefully temperatures there will be jumping into the 70s here pretty quick. This camera brought to you by Market Basket, but had really thick fog down there in Port Arthur earlier this morning. Visibilities were less than a half a mile. At one point they were like a 3/10 of a mile, and looking pretty good out there for this afternoon. Expect to see that fog move back in here for later on this evening, especially in the Port Arthur area, and then really get thick as we head towards tomorrow morning, kind of like we've seen the last couple of mornings. All right, we'll take another switch the camera and we'll look over to another part of southeast Texas. I think we're going to probably jump up here to the Orange area, and you can see the Horseman's Western Store still dealing with some fog there. It has lifted off somewhat. We're seeing a little bit more visibility than we did this morning, but you can definitely see some foggy conditions over towards Orange. So while a couple of places there you saw some blue sky, nothing like that over at the Horseman's Western Store right now. Our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network currently showing 67 degrees, humidity at 100%, and winds are out of the east at about 5 to 10 miles per hour right now. But yeah, definitely if you're traveling maybe today heading over into Orange, southwest Louisiana, you might see a little bit more cloud cover than at your house right now, maybe here in Beaumont or up towards or down towards Port Arthur or so. As we look at downtown Beaumont, still pretty cloudy here as well. Still waiting for those clouds to burn off a little bit. This is the view from Pack of the Prairie as we look at downtown Beaumont there. We're also showing about 68 degrees downtown. Humidity at 93%, and the winds are calm right now. In at 0 basically means calm winds. So that's not helping break up the clouds a little bit. We could use a little bit of wind. That would help also kind of break clouds up a little bit. But right now it's just kind of clouded over in downtown Beaumont. I want to check the camera right here at 12 News Studio and see if we're seeing a little bit of sunshine here, and really not too much. It looks like we're still pretty overcast right here. When I was outside a little bit earlier this morning around 9:30 or so, I did see the sun break out a little bit, so I'm hoping that's going to be the case for this afternoon. Our camera here at the 12 News Studio looking down on I-10 as traffic's going smooth. We don't have to worry about any traffic problems. It looks like for lunch. This camera brought to you Mid-County Plumbing. As we look at temperatures right now, you can see where they're seeing some sunshine, already showing some 70s and middle 70s at that. Woodville's at 74, Silsbee's at 74, Kirbyville's showing 71 now, and then 72 in Jasper. Still with some low-level clouds. Orange is 67, Beaumont's at 69, and Port Arthur 68, but expecting that number to jump up at least 2 or 3 degrees with that sun starting to break out in the Port Arthur area. Pretty quiet across the state, not a whole lot going on. We had a few showers, a little disturbance out into the Gulf earlier. That's not going to be moving in our direction, so we won't see any rain from that, but we'll definitely see that sea fog come back in through the overnight, and that's going to bring us some mist and drizzle, things like that associated with that thick fog. Out in West Texas, looking at some nice weather. If you're traveling away from the coast, you're traveling out towards Central Texas today, West Texas, maybe even going farther than that. Conditions are not too bad, pretty quiet. And if you're heading off towards the east, also pretty quiet conditions. You shouldn't have too many travel problems. Speaking of travel, let's take a look around the rest of the U.S. and see what's going on. Once you get past El Paso, you start to run into some clouds into parts of New Mexico, Arizona, and then as you get into California, that's going to be the big travel problem for the next couple of days. As you can see, all this moisture coming in off the Pacific Ocean. Some of that moisture is still going up into parts of Oregon, Idaho, western parts of Montana, seeing some snow problems there, some winter weather advisories there, and Sierra Nevada expecting to see high winds and lots of snow as we head through the next few days. So if you have friends or family maybe want to Sierra to do some skiing, they're going to get dumped on, it looks like, here over the next day or two as this moisture comes in for them. And even some of this rain heading into southern parts of California now. They're expecting some very heavy rains around the Los Angeles area down towards San Diego over the next couple of days. So California is not a good place as far as travel is concerned for the next 2 or 3 days, as all that moisture is going to be coming on shore there. And you notice it goes up and over this big high ridge of pressure that's over the deep south. So all the active weather is going to stay across the northern tier of the country and over towards parts of New England. They're seeing some of that moisture through the Great Lakes, seeing some lake effect snows, and they're seeing winter weather advisories up into parts of New England for today. Some of that moisture working its way off the coast, but definitely seeing some, maybe a few travel problems, at least today into tomorrow through parts of New England. It looks like the Carolinas are fine. Florida looks fine as well. Like I said, big ridge of high pressure keeping everything pretty quiet. As we check our futurecast, showing temperatures into the upper 70s today for some places, middle 70s for others. Won't see too much in the way of any precipitation. Don't expect to see anything really here in southeast Texas. And then here comes the fog back across the area for tonight. We'll stay parked into the 60s this evening, going into tomorrow morning. It's going to get thick again. So that's why we have that weather impact alert for tomorrow morning, the next several mornings. And then tomorrow afternoon, Christmas Eve, it should start to break up again. And not looking too bad for tomorrow afternoon, as we'll see temperatures in the middle to upper 70s once again. And say mostly cloudy skies again for tomorrow. Along the coast for today, dense fog advisory still out there towards the coast. That might be being dropped with some of that sunshine trying to break out. East winds at 5 to 10 knots, seas around 2 feet. Next high tide is 6:53 for this evening. Mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays. We're seeing east to southeasterly winds at 11 right now, with gusts to 13 at Texas Point. Water temperature into the lower 60s. Our sunrise was at 7:09 this morning. Our sunsets at 5:22 for this evening. So this afternoon, mostly cloudy to maybe partly cloudy, especially in the lakes where we're already starting to see those conditions. Temperatures middle 70s for the most part, with a southeasterly wind between about 3 to 8. As we head towards tonight, look for cloudy skies, and then that fog starts to develop, especially around the triangle. More in the way of patchy fog inland southeast Texas and the lakes, but looks like it could be pretty dense once again for around the triangle here. So be aware of that if you're going to be traveling later on this evening or tomorrow morning. You might need to get out early and slow down. Be very careful on the roadways. Last couple of days, last 2 or 3 days, we've been seeing wrecks because of some of the fog and people not taking their time and not watching what they're doing. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. Looks a little different, not like we typically see. We have weather impact alerts basically every morning all the way through Saturday morning, thanks to more fog developing. Looks like we're going to be stuck in this pattern where we'll see fog every morning and then mostly to partly cloudy skies in the afternoon, and that will be giving us some warm temperatures. So 60s in the morning, 70s in the afternoon. That pattern holds through Saturday. Then it starts to change. Sunday we'll see a front come through the area. That cold front will produce a couple of scattered showers, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. And you notice we go from 76 all the way down to 57. And then we see a morning low of 66 on Sunday morning down to 45 on Monday. So we're looking at a good 20-degree drop there in temperatures as we head towards next week. I know a lot of people wanted to see chilly temperatures for Christmas. That's not going to happen this year, but we definitely will see some chilly temperatures going into next week. We might see chilly temperatures for New Year's. We'll have to wait and see how the forecast pans out. But be aware each morning it's going to be some thick fog. We'll have that weather impact alert each morning. Number at the bottom of your screen.